Everyone, welcome to Short Rest for episode 54.
And we're not dead!
You're not dead by the... I feel like I was... There was a couple of things that I could have done that I wasn't able to do so. Crap. It's fine. It's fine.
It's always the crabs.
What was that?
It's always the crabs.
I guess so.
Even though I love if we got to that point where we were just like, screw these crabs, we got other things to deal with.
I mean, I was very impressed that, one, the fact that you guys did split your attention. We should actually recap what happened. First of all, you guys continued your fight against Test Subject 113, which again, you all are aware is essentially a result of an experiment from the Blake twins. Actually, 113 was a reference from the very first.
I was gonna ask if that's the one that they confirmed in to releasing into the water, but
Yes.
they didn't say what kind of body of water. They just said water.
Exactly. That was the one where they were like, "Hey, it actually was successful. We'll see what happens if we release into the wild in the water," which gave hint that it was an aquatic beast.
Fun times.
Yeah. You guys continue your fight with that, splitting your attention from repairing, attacking the drowned privateers to the eye crabs to the actual beast itself, which I can tell you now had 330 HP.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, damn.
I got to a point where it was really taking some damage. I'm like, it's still up.
Yeah.
This isn't good.
It was a beefy guy. I have the modified, sort of the estimated stats I usually use, and it's up there.
So this guy and these experiments that we've been fighting have really
Up their game.
they've put something in my head, and I don't know how you're gonna take it, but we'll find out right now, won't we?
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
So are you familiar with the lore of like SCP?
Yes.
Oh no.
So it feels like these are SCPs we're fighting,
Mm-hmm.
but then it turns out that it's actually just an experiment being conducted by the Foundation, because in reality, we're the SCPs, and we're going against other SCPs to see which one's gonna win.
Boy, you've been reading that creepypasta for a while, haven't you?
Yes, I have!
I mean, it kind of fit because I was supposed to fall somewhere into that, but
I will admit that a lot of what I look up when it comes to... So specifically, the experiments, which are the creatures you've been fighting, are the main basis of their idea, because you've seen the notes, was they saw things like an owlbear and a displacer beast, which are combinations of animals, and they become greater than their sum. Like an owlbear is obviously a bear and an owl. A displacer beast is a jaguar with like a tentacled creature.
Because they know they now intersect. You want to know what this creature reminded me? And Steve's gonna look at me when I say this. It's an Andrazi.
Oh god. Yeah.
Magic the Gathering. It's this big jellyfish creature. I'm like, that's a goddamn Andrazi, isn't it?
Yeah.
The image specifically, because again, the image specifically where I got the inspiration was Subnautica.
Woo!
Yeah. So, and actually, that's a great game, by the way, to get a lot of aqua and underwater, undersea inspiration monsters, because a lot of them look freaky as hell. You know.
Yes,
so,
I'm googling it. Ooh.
Yeah, Subnautica has some really good ones, and the jellyfish itself is not that large. I think it's maybe like double the size of a human.
I mean, it looked a lot bigger. It's almost. Well,
I mean, the image itself, I blew it up.
Yeah.
You know, and it made it gigantic.
Yes, we also blew it up.
Yeah, I think also this was the first quote. No, the dragon was also gigantic. So this would be the second gigantic creature you fought.
Not that big, also gigantic.
Taking him out.
Yeah. I think it was really fun to have you guys sort of bounce around between the idea of, do I repair, do I attack? Because if you guys never repaired, or like, no, just continue doing, I'm going to instruct the crew to just do damage, it would have gotten really bad really quickly. Because it would have started, you guys would have started sinking.
And that's why I did water walks, in case, for shits and giggles we all died on there, or not like even the ship went, at least we didn't drown.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole thing is like, you know what? I think we can handle the creatures. Let's just focus on the ship. And it just got to a point where I'm like, nope. I need more people to attack this thing. So
Yeah.
So, like, I tried to give a command to the guy to save the ship, because, you know, sinking ship, right? You kind of want to make sure you don't sink in the middle of the ocean. And the guy's going to tell me, like, hey, we'll do what the captain says. No, bro, save the ship!
I mean, the captain did say save the ship.
He didn't hear you.
Yeah, you guys were on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think I mentioned before, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but the ship in particular was Jack's patron.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted, I sort of took creative liberty from what Toast or Loaf gave us, which was, she was like, oh, I want to have a ship that's really cool. And I was like, yeah, no problem. What if the ship was your patron? Like, almost like how a Hexblade warrior or Hexblade warlock has, like, my patron is imbued through this weapon. And it's like, now my patron is imbued through this ship.
It was different, for sure, but it also made, I feel like it was a good connection with Fathomless, just because I've played Fathomless, but, I mean, I twisted that one when I played it, so...
Yeah. Also, the fact that, once again, you made use, at least for Savannah's sake, for you, Temple, you made use of that, the resistance ability, sort of the reaction thing, which is really, really good because it basically negates all damage to the ship for one attack. Which is impressive, considering the Jelly Devil was doing 3d6 plus 10 damage.
I mean, I am honestly kind of glad those first hits were on the ship and not us, because we would have been out of commission a lot earlier.
True.
I mean, I'm just happy the ship was not just a ship.
Yeah.
Because if it was just a ship, that probably would not have
we
gone
would
as
have been
it did.
doomed.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask this: let's do an HP roll call. What did everyone end the encounter with?
Oh, I did my hit dice. I think I was at 37
37? Not bad.
out of 111.
What was yours, Steve?
92.
92. You were fine.
That was
Damn
fine.
it, Rolly.
I think maybe Savannah was taking a lot. What was her ending?
I ended up in 15.
Oh,
That's why I was worried about those crabs for a second.
God damn. Yeah, the crab wasn't. Its host died. It's not gonna go after you guys. You know, at that point.
My thing is, like, are they part of the experiment, though, and we just let them loose in the water because they can make you blind? So...
You don't know. You know?
You have to cut... Oh, really didn't take one. You need to cut one open and see what it does.
I mean, there are some...
I
Go on.
tried.
There's some
Tried to
crushed
eat it.
crabs.
Oh, the crabs. Well, no, he tried to eat the crabs, so...
Yeah.
Crabs.
Lila didn't like it. She was like,
Oh
nah,
no, Lila tried to eat the jelly.
this is some sus shit.
Just-
I don't want
yeah.
it.
So that happened, that whole encounter. And then you ended up kind of being traded onto... Now we're dubbing it the double dip, which is kind of growing on me for the past 20 minutes.
It makes me want a sandwich.
Double dip?
That sounds good right now, actually.
Double dipped chip.
You double
Double
dipped a
dip.
chip?
Well, they're not called double dips, but like
The
generally
French
it's
dips?
like, yeah, like the French or the beef dip
Oh, like
sandwiches.
a French dip or whatever.
Yeah, that's all I was like. That's what it made me think of. But then again, I just think of food now.
Kind of
so.
want to say.
No, when you said double dip, I was thinking double dip ice cream, though.
Oh yeah.
But that is a good reference. So double dip, French dip.
Yeah, because I was like, where the hell have we heard of the Eventide before? I'm like, that sounds familiar.
Like, as soon as you said it, I'm all like, that bells are ringing, I just can't think why.
Apparently,
Ding,
I'm not good with naming ships. I've got two
You're
names.
fine. I
You're
think you
fine.
have so much shit in your head that you're just like, oops.
The
But
fact
yeah.
that it's been this long and it's the first time it's happened, I think we're fine.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the thing that makes me laugh is I introduced 3 ships in this campaign. 2 of them were the name the same.
Oh, you want to tell them what I found the last time with Sunday's notes? Because I was looking, I have obviously a shit ton of notebooks. So when we play on Sunday, I was like looking for something. And then I was like, hey, Belladonna's name is in it. I I was like, did you get this from Sunday, or like, did you just not remember?
I needed a name that I needed like alliteration to happen with Blood Eyes. And it had to be a woman's name because it was a woman pirate. So Belladonna just sort of struck me, and I was like, Blood Eyes Belladonna, that sounds great. I'm writing it down. So yeah.
I mean, you could always go with the herb because you can't have too much of that shit, otherwise it'll fuck you up.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
So,
that's why I figure I'm like, oh, it's named after the
God.
plant. 'Cause the plant's poisonous. Cool.
yeah. It's like the Nightshade family, I
too.
think.
It is a nightshade family.
I have to ask you guys this now, just out of curiosity, how you feel. How do you? What are your like? There's a lot happening here now. There is an internal struggle happening within the lieutenants and Belladonna herself. So you can almost equate it to like if the king from King Caspian and his generals decided to fight, and then a lot of generals were like, "Fuck the king! He doesn't do shit. He doesn't even know. He's not aware of anything. We're doing a coup.
It's a mutiny.
It's a mutiny." So that's happening, but then you hear about like this person's crazy, and this person's like they're all loyalists, which usually isn't the best term to give someone is being a loyalist. And then you already have a sort of a self-imposed thought of what Belladonna is. So what's going through your mind for this whole encounter?
Like the extremists, arm cutting. I'm all like, I know we're talking about like troops to go get Leon. I don't think I want to do that anymore.
I feel like if we had to talk to somebody, it would probably be Shax. Only
That's
of
what
the
it sounds
two.
like.
But because I don't want to deal with. We already had enough crazy. We still have enough crazy women after us. We don't do good with those.
I'm right now. I'm like, there's a piece of information we're missing here because like we still don't know what triggered this because I don't think this is a matter of fight for power anymore.
Well, the only reason I asked that question is because like something I don't know. I could be in my own head, but it seems like something flipped the queen off, and then she was a nut. Something flipped Lily off, or she got a hold of some information and got it in her head that this is like the only way. And so like it just seems to be like a running theme, like if you get introduced to having a way to be immortal, whether it's being a lich or it's taking that vial, it like makes you a little crazy.
Something happens and
like,
there's like no, I actually had a similar thought because I'm all like, we know she's after the map, we know what it does, why, we know what it does, and this happened a year ago. This has to be tied somehow, but is it?
Yeah, that's like Vera's thought process, because it's like everybody was maybe semi-okay. They were probably still secretly nuts, but like, they were better before they got that idea in their head of like, that's the thing I want, and now I'm crazy.
It's always got to be power. Jesus.
I mean, I did admittedly say that the whole theme of this campaign is the stride to immortality and what it can do to people.
Yeah.
And
that hasn't been the case for everybody, like Richard and like Davis.
Kind of did with Richard.
Yeah, but like, I mean, like the one that was like really sickly, like he admits it now that it was like he wished he didn't do it. And then
Miles.
Yeah, it's Miles.
And then like Davis ran away because he like helped her, but he didn't want anything to do with it after they had done like what they did. So it was like the guys were like, I did my shit, didn't want to, but you were gonna kill me, I'm out. Like they were like, I don't want to do this anymore. So
I mean, there's always a drawback, and that's sort of the whole point of the campaign's theme. Is like for Miles is a good example. Yeah, he wished he didn't become immortal himself by injecting himself with like these chemicals and elixirs, keeping the human body able and moving and thinking and comprehending and planning than anybody should from his particular background. He's human. He's only human, and he's over a couple centuries old. And he's thin and he requires aid. And so if you were to look at it from an outside perspective, it's this gross looking humanoid Mr. House looking person from like Fallout New Vegas where he's like on a respirator and the thing. There's a drawback from immortality. One, he's not moving. He's only planning and thinking and surmising and trying to think of ways to bring down the queen. Richard is dead.
I think character-wise, though, like, could respect that more than what they're doing, because it's like they did it, but then they also had the realization, whereas in everybody else that we're fighting, it's like there is no realization. It's like this way or no way.
Yeah.
And that's
But we
it.
don't know. Well, I mean, probably just with
With the
freaking,
queen, probably.
with the queen, I'm like, yes, but I'm like, eh.
Miles is interesting because even when you first met him, he still was kind of hostile.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Yeah.
because he's lost a little of his mind. He's not exactly all there, but he is solid enough where I think when Savannah, you showed the symbol of Richard Thugmore, he was like, my friend. All right, fine, you guys are good. Other than that, I would have killed you, fucking all, type of thing. Like he would have been that old crazy coot in a mountain who has like his one eye is off to the side. He's that type of person. Richard, his theme for immortality is, he's like, I'm gonna die. Now just be me. Everyone be me. And if you were an outside person looking at that, that's creepy
That
too.
sounds that sounds insane too.
Like everyone's gonna be me. You're gonna sound like me. You're gonna be named after me. You're gonna dress like me, and you're gonna act like me. You're all me. So there never
Yeah.
is a good immortality thing.
Yeah.
There's just too much batshit crazy going on.
Yeah.
I think your uncle might have been the right one. It's all like, fuck this, I'm out. We're into a different plane.
He either was fuck this, I'm out, or like I don't know, he didn't know where else to hide. But like we haven't even.
Your dad's waiting for. Actually, you still have the Leaf transportation. So if you needed to really get out of there, you technically could take the Leaf.
I know, that's just like diving into another thing, and that's just why she hasn't done it. Because it's like she's only been there once. And like to take two people that like aren't even from there, like she doesn't know what's gonna happen, like because she had a hard time the first time, even though she's technically from there. It's like, and everything is like the time doesn't match up. There's creepy shit. You don't know if it's like here. It's like, okay, that guy looks sketch. I mean, even if they did look nice, you could maybe do something to figure out if he's gonna shank you or not. But over there,
Looks
it's just
sketch.
like, I don't even know what the hell you are or what you do. Like so.
A whole lot of nope.
Yeah, I mean, she wants to, because she knows that like her dad's not getting any sleep. Like that he's literally been doing this for years trying to find his brother. And it's like she wishes she had something of his, or like a picture or something that they kept, because then like there's ways as a cleric just to do something if she was in that plane, but not really right now. I'm sure it'll circle back in some crazy ass way because I know you. But
I mean,
I would bet on it.
let's just
I'm almost certain of it.
let's be honest. There are things that are still in waiting. You know, obviously the whole.
like we may have to talk to him. Just to talk to the person that fucking helped her would be like really helpful. Like in general, if he was willing to be like, what the hell did you do that she's so after you? Because now we need to undo it. But
We're gonna derail it all. I'm gonna become the pirate queen.
You know, I mean, if you guys, obviously, the way I've told you is that you guys are gonna hit level 20 later down the line, and the story's not gonna end there. Obviously, the one thing I was thinking about was like, it sucks. It's a really shit thing to do to go, I made it to level 20, campaign over.
yeah,
It's like, you don't get
because
to
then you don't get to
use-
play with anything.
to
You're
use it.
just
So you guys are gonna hit level 20, and then things are gonna continue a little on further down the line, and then we might have an epilogue. And if you Savannah want to go back and be the, who knows what can happen. If you want to work towards that, we can work towards that.
It's one of the things, as soon as you said it, I'm like, that setup is perfect, but at the same time, I don't think that's where this is going.
Pirate Queen Savannah.
Yar.
Yarr.
No, I'm loyal to too many goddamn people right now to do that. Let me go get my friend.
And yeah,
For now.
that's another thing.
yeah. I was like, I don't know if you want to be queen of the crazies. Like, yeah, you have queen of the island, but you
No,
may have to
you
do
get
some
the
hard
point is,
work.
you get rid of all three.
Yeah.
You get rid of all three. Because right now, I'm like, I know Belladonna is the big threat. The other two don't sound sane either, so...
Well, just as a kind of offhand question, like, how big is this island?
Oh, the island itself, small. It's not a big island. I will say that it's probably smaller than any of the individual islands from Nomad.
Oh, so they're pretty small then.
Yeah.
Tiny.
So Nomad was like, I know from Mandalay, Aria, which was sort of the first island you guys went to, which I believe was the biggest. It took like maybe a week and a half to get to the very top, all the way down to the very bottom. So a week and a half is like beyond 7-day travel.
So like Anburn's bigger than this, a lot bigger.
Anburn's way bigger. But then again, Anburn is not very civilized. Like, it's not a lot of cities. There's like maybe 2. And
Hey,
a
they
couple
were still
villages.
nice except for the fucking giants. Like,
Yeah.
but the people were nice.
It was taken up by forest and a mountain. This one has some mountainal plains. There are 2 main cities that you guys can see on the map. There's Yellow Sands. I think it's called like the Crown Tip or something like that. So yeah, that's the second island or second city. So not a lot to investigate and explore, but you get a sense that everything's probably really clustered up.
Yeah, the way I
Yeah.
imagine in my head is I can't think of the name of it in Pirates of the Caribbean, but like Treasure Island, it's like it's the port where all of the bad people go and do stuff.
It's essentially Tortuga.
Yeah,
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah,
That
it's,
island.
it's very much like Tortuga.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Every time we go on a fucking island, we get our asses handed to us for at least a portion of the visit.
I mean, what just happened on a boat? We haven't got on the island yet.
Well, I mean, before, like, we got to meet all of it, and that was nice. And then it was like, by the way, you're gonna have to go fight those major assholes. I'm like, excuse me?
But remember, we beat those assholes.
No, I know.
Barely, because we had to find a goddamn dragon.
We did it.
True.
Focus
but
on the positive.
I'm still saying we still get our asses handed to us for a portion of our stay there.
I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the pirate people be nice.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not holding my breath if people are lopping all like arms off and shit. I'm like, no. I'm fairly attached to my arms. Thanks.
This is probably the closest you've gotten to Vintier, which is the other continent.
Oh, good. So there's
World-
an island of crazy between the two.
World map wise, you guys are probably like 2 weeks away travel from going to a new continent. Maybe a little less, like maybe a week and a half, which is not too far away. Please don't go to Vintier. I have not. It's not fully built. That's campaign 2.
Onward.
And I love the
shit.
travel flag from this world into Ventura. There's a evil island of just like, don't fuck with the island, just keep on going.
Yeah, well, when I was building the world, I was like, I didn't want to make that big of a world because I was like, one, I would rather, and this is going to be way more emphasized in campaign 2. Vintier is so much smaller than Mostead, but that will allow me to build a lot more interpersonal connections. Like, you guys go to Akota, but you really only go to one place in Akota, and that's the bar. Campaign 2 is very much going to focus more on the numerous people that live in the town. There'll probably be less towns to go to. A lot more you'll end up meeting a lot more NPCs who have a lot more problems. So it's going to be a lot less world hopping and a lot more, oh, we're going to probably stay in this town for a few weeks and then move on, instead of going, all right, we've stayed here for a day, time to move on. This is only a pit stop.
We're nomads.
Yeah. So Vintier is very much going to be smaller, but it's going to be a lot more interpersonal people. My whole point to this was Mostead, large as fuck. The largest thing I've ever made. And yeah,
He's
there's
big.
world-wise 3 major places: Nomad, Vintier, and Mostead. And there are small little islands that surround everywhere else.
He's big.
He's big.
He's big.
But yeah, I think the last thing we need to cover is Captain Lorenzo Hortrus, who a new face, kind of.
That guy.
What are your thoughts on him?
I think it's just because we don't. I mean, it's not that we haven't met nice people, but I feel like just because we've been so on edge, it's just like we don't really trust people whether they're nice or not. It's just like I don't trust you because I don't know what the fuck you know.
I'm about to sound like a hypocrite. It's all like, but he's connected to Belladonna. He's connected, but not connected to Belladonna. He sounds like he might be in my situation where you're connected to not so nice people, but you're not so bad yourself. But still, I don't trust you, so go away.
There it is.
I mean, that's a good thought to have.
I think it would be better, and none of us asked him. I was thinking about it because he said, "I don't want to lose another one." Like what that meant. Like maybe he's
I didn't even catch that.
like maybe he's just doing it because like something went bad the last time, and he's just like, "This is my job now, so I don't do it again, or so it doesn't happen again." Like it seems like a guilt thing versus like anything bad, but still.
Yeah, Captain Lorenzo Hortrus is. There are what I like to call like 2D characters who, they're a one-shot character that maybe you meet once, and then they're kind of like Moscow characters where they've got some history and background. This is just one of them who has a little bit more layers, and I'm happy you guys are sort of catching on that, where there's like, oh, he mentioned this, but he also feels like this. And I'm not going to confirm anything, obviously, because you guys are asking some good questions, but they're not in game.
Boo! Boo this man!
Boo him!
Boo him!
All right. Well, if you guys have any, do you guys have any other questions before we call it a short rest?
I don't think so.
I need more hit dice.
Well, I guess that's what we're going to call it. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Episode 55 is just around the corner.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.